Hi, my name is Erin Arpaia. I am a second-year student here at Kendall College in the Baking and Pastry Arts program. Today I'm going to discuss my assigned topic of performance standards and how they relate to the culinary and hospitality industry. Performance standards, according to our text, are defined as the what, how, and to what standards each task is to be performed. Development and adherence to a good set of performance standards is essential to operating a successful business of any type. In our text, Somerville states effective performance standards serve two important functions. First, they become the targets for employee efforts, and secondly, they are the criteria against which job success is measured. The article I chose to report on was written by Dr. David G. Bigley, Vice President of Culture, MD. His article is a review of the book Lessons in Excellence from Charlie Trotter, written by Paul Clark. Dr. Bigley starts out by admitting that he's a food geek, in fact, a food fanatic. He talks about the week he spent in an intensive cooking class entitled Introduction to Professional Kitchen at Greystone, the Culinary Institute of America in Napa Valley, California. Each day, after lectures and demonstrations, he was part of a 4-person team who had to have an entire menu prepared, labeled, and presented, which was then critiqued by the head chef of the CIA. Talk about pressure. Each afternoon, his team was responsible for discussing the next day's menu, picking fresh herbs if they needed them, washing their chef whites, and sharpening their knives in order to be ready for the next day. Dr. Bigley summed up his week of culinary experience by stating, "It was one of the best experiences of my life and changed the way I cooked and appreciated food and the development of my culinary skills from that time on." In light of his experience at the Culinary Institute of America, Dr. Bigley concluded that the food industry is one of the most volatile industries in the world and that the failure rate for restaurants is higher than in any other industry. Success in the restaurant industry is accomplished by very few individuals, and Dr. Bigley feels that Chef Charlie Trotter is at the top of the list of successful restaurant owners. According to Dr. Bigley, the book Lessons in Excellence from Charlie Trotter tells what it takes to be at the top of your class in any industry, not just the food industry. Charlie Trotter says the food industry, like any other industry, is all about the top-down, people-first style of managing and growing a business. Dr. Bigley says that Charlie Trotter's business management style, if followed, will help any business rise to the top of the industry. People who have worked as a chef for a day in Charlie Trotter's kitchen are quoted as saying that they have never seen a more impressive leader than Charlie Trotter. I, too, was fortunate enough to enjoy the experience as a chef for a day in Charlie Trotter's kitchen, and I learned what Dr. Bigley calls Trotter's 6 core leadership skills of performance standards. These standards, as Dr. Bigley sums them up, can serve as a lesson for anyone in the culinary and hospitality field, as well as anyone in the business world. The first of Charlie Trotter's performance standards for all of his employees is to hire the best. Chef Trotter looks throughout the world for the highest quality of chefs. As he says, the best stay, the rest go. Every chef in his kitchen has an air of professionalism and confidence about them. The second standard in Charlie Trotter's kitchen is teamwork. Everyone in the kitchen is dressed alike and moves in a well-choreographed design in order to produce the finest dining experience anywhere. If someone has a spare minute, they sweep or mop the floor and pitch in everywhere help is needed in order to work as a well-oiled team. The third on the list of performance standards in Charlie Trotter's kitchen is the communication. It is extremely important in such a small kitchen that everyone knows what everyone is doing in order for each dish to come together. The fourth standard in Charlie Trotter's kitchen is his unfailing adherence to only the highest standards. Chef Trotter buys only the very best ingredients available and even visits farms and suppliers in order to talk to them directly about ways to make their best even better. Apparently, Chef Trotter has high performance standards for his suppliers also. Chef Trotter's high standards are also evident every day in the performance of his staff, even if he is not there. Fifth on the list of performance standards by Chef Charlie Trotter is innovation. He encourages all his chefs to experiment with different ingredients and suggest new ideas. Listening to and implementing his chef's suggestions and ideas gives him a competitive advantage over other restaurateurs. Last but most importantly on his list of performance standards, it is truly delight customers. Everyone throughout his kitchen, no matter what their job or position, knows that at the end of the goal of the restaurant is to truly delight their customers. Every employee knows this needs to be accomplished for every customer every day. Dr. Brigley states, Chef Trotter is very quiet, intense, and meticulous man who leads by example. It is clear from this article that his team not only has the highest respect for him as a person and a professional, but they also put their heart and soul into trying to meet his expectations. The performance standards set by Charlie Trotter are the ultimate what, how, and to what standards he expects things to be done. According to our text, in order to be effective, performance standards should be attainable, specific, observable, meaningful, measurable, stated in terms of quality, quantity, timeliness, or cost. Certainly, this article confirms that Charlie Trotter has excelled in setting performance standards and expectations that are targets for employees' effort and also are well-known criteria against which he measures success for all his employees. The takeaway message for us from this article is that anyone can apply Charlie Trotter's performance standards to their business, no matter what it is, in order to excel in their business venture. Unfortunately for us, Charlie Trotter has recently closed his world-famous restaurant in Chicago, and we can only hope that whatever his next venture is, it will be another restaurant for us to enjoy. Needless to say, if Chef Charlie Trotter applies his performance standards to whatever he might do, he will be very successful.